Okay, earlier in the week, I was right here with you guys. I was talking with you about the danger of protectionism versus what we actually are going to need in the aftermath of this pandemic. And I was trying to make the point that there's going to be a lot of things that when this is over, we're going to look around and we're going to go, you know what? We should have been able to do more domestically. We should have had more domestic capacity for personal protective equipment, for maybe some pharmaceuticals, for food processing. I know is an issue the government is looking at here. Kind of a more resilient Canada. That's a good thing. We should all get behind this. We should really invest ourselves in this effort. We're going to come up with a lot of things. The danger I warned just again a couple of days ago was that there were going to be a ton of opportunists in this country who were going to go, hey, guess what? I'm in a politically valuable riding. It's like the typical handful of ridings in Ontario and Quebec, where every business there is going to go, oh, look at me, I'm essential too. We need to be on guard for that. We have to have a really difficult, torturous, probably process of self-examination here, where we say, this is what we're going to need to actually have better domestic capacity to do. And these are a bunch of opportunists who are just trying to ride the federal gravy train, declaring themselves essential, and then taking public bucks, taking money from you, me, and thee under the guise of being essential when really they're not. Getting through all of this is going to require a really hard-headed, hard-nosed government. It's not going to be perfect. I wasn't born yesterday. I obviously know that there would be some patronage and favoritism sneaking into it somewhere. But in general, this is something important we're going to have to do a good job on. And I was talking with you about that 2 days ago in the context of supply shipments being disrupted. There had been some early reports earlier in the week that the Europeans were going to be looking at limiting exports of vaccine. Right now, Canada is not getting into the Pfizer vaccine because it's being produced by Pfizer at a facility in Belgium. And earlier in the week, there was some early reports that the Europeans were kind of starting to go, you know what? Until we get our own population vaccinated, we should not be exporting vaccines. In the handful of days since, the buzz on this has ratcheted up 1,000-fold. It's a lot louder now. Germany is overtly saying, we don't want to see any exports here, and that the European Union has the right to limit exports. This is, like I said earlier in the week, a complete repeat of where we were at the beginning of the pandemic, when it was the Americans who were saying, hey, nice PPE order you have there, Canada, but we're stopping that at the border because American doctors and American nurses are not getting what they need. Right now, there's a certain irony here. The British are in the same boat as us, having just completed like Brexit 3 days ago or something. They now find themselves outside of the EU, and they are also counting on getting their vaccines from the European Union. The Americans under President Biden are going to try to ramp up their vaccination program. The Europeans are falling behind. Germany says they're looking at a 10-week shortage of vaccines. We are out at the end of a really long limb here. We've been talking about the vaccine issue mostly as a political one. Does it hurt the liberals? Does it help the conservatives? It is first and foremost a public safety issue. If we don't get vaccines, Canadians are going to die. If we don't get vaccines, we're going to be more vulnerable to the emerging strains of this virus that are popping up all over the world. But thus far, we believe are stopped by the vaccine. We need this stuff. I want to know, are we working even now to get our own domestic production capacity up and running so that we are never in this situation again, and maybe sometime in the near future, we'll be able to get ourselves out of this mess without having to count on foreigners, even if under normal circumstances, we'd call them allies.